to my final stitch diaries of the year 2022. So I just thought I'd stop in for just one final time of this year to just basically show you, things in the making and completed things, and a couple of shout outs to people as well, so I hope you don't mind that. Now, the first thing I'm going to do are the shout outs. Now, everybody went a little bit crazy, well, some of you did it anyway, about my little frog. And here she is, Freya the frog, I called her. That's not the name of the pattern. She's knitted, and that's what I decided to call her. And the pattern designer is Dot Pebbles, Claire Garland of Dot Pebbles. And she's just the sweetest little thing. Now, I've just got her sitting here on my St Nicholas socks that I knitted for last Christmas. These are DK weight in a wool. They're just more like a house kind of sock with a fluffy top on them. But I photographed her sitting on there, and I've just kept her on there, and she's been up in my knitting basket next to my bed, like a little mascot, along with many others. So, but yes, people have got a little bit crazy over her, and people have been in contact with me. So Emma from the Crafty Clyde, her Instagram is at Crafty Clyde, and the Clyde is spelled CLYDE, and she has made Turner the frog. Now, Turner has got a pink jumper on, a pink and white striped jumper, and and we've been in contact with each other, and Emma said her Turner needs a girl, and I said I think my Freya needs a boy. But they've been giving each other a little wave and a little wink, they have, on social media. So again, a bit of silliness aside. So, and I've also had, right, I'll just get the photograph on for me to see. Tina. Now, Tina is, I asked what her Instagram is, and her Instagram is at the Craft House with Tina, but she's got underscores between each of the words, basically. And she was in contact with me. She wanted a little bit of help because she saw my Freya and she wanted to knit basically a little frog for herself, but she said her knitting skills were quite basic. Well, she's only gone and achieved it, so well done, Tina, because I don't know if you saw my video when I first spoke about the frog, when I first made her, but I did say it would help if you had a bit of experience with short row knitting, maybe some sock row knitting, doing wrap and turns and things like that. Do you know what I'm saying? But she did it, and I've got a photograph of her frog, so and I'll put it up on the screen. I did ask her permission. Actually, I didn't ask the Emma from the Crafty Clyde for permission, actually, so I hope she doesn't mind. Emma, I hope you don't mind, but I was really happy to share your frog, your Turner frog. So yes, we've got another little frog in the family now. So yeah, it's been quite exciting. So I will go back to knitting, but I'm going to go to sewing for a little bit now, and sewing related is Poppy to Fry. Now, I did show you my fabric pieces in my last stitch diaries, and I showed you that I'd photocopied them. Well, anyway, I actually made the projects, and here they are. They're the cutest little pots, and I'm just using them as sweetie pots, and I've actually been leaving them in my hallway next to my pin cushion. I've got it here, the pin cushion that I leave for my husband. If he finds a pin, he can put it in there. So I've just been using them as little sweetie pots, but I have taken a photograph of these and I have put them on social media, so you may have seen those already. Now, if you saw it on social media, on Instagram, you might have only seen one picture. You'd have had to scroll along, but if you saw it on Facebook, it came up like a set of 4, so you could basically see 2 sides of each pot, basically in like a grid. So it did look a bit nicer on Facebook, actually. So anyway, I'll just pop those back up here. Please excuse my hair, it probably looks a bit crazy. I'm going out and gone, excuse me, the camera has dropped. I'm going next door for New Year's Eve for some drinks and things. And yeah, so I've washed my hair this morning and I've just kind of blasted it dry. Looking at it now, it doesn't look too bad actually. It's probably that new hairdryer that I had for Christmas. Do you remember me saying to you, nobody asked me what I wanted for Christmas this year, so I didn't know if I was going to get money, I didn't know if I was going to get gifts, so I said don't hold your hopes that I'm going to get a craft item. Oh, actually, let me get something. Right, I'm sorry to go off on one. I said I was doing sewing. I will go back to sewing, but this is knitting. Now, my eldest son said to my husband, is there anything Mum would like for Christmas? And then my husband couldn't think of anything, so he asked me. And somebody was having a D-stash, and they were selling off some kits, and there was the Sincerely Louise kits. Now, leading up to Christmas, I was knitting little mince pies as gifts for my family members, and I ended up knitting four for my basically for my husband and our three sons, and they all loved them. Actually, my youngest son said, "Have you actually made this, Mum?" You know, I'm surprised that he's surprised. I don't think my boys always realise that I've made things. They just see these things pop up in the house, but they probably think I've bought them. I don't think they really take any notice of me, you know. But it was basically a kit and I managed to get 4 out of it. I probably would get 5, but I didn't have any more eyes, so I might knit another. However, I asked for the giant knitting kit to make a giant one, and here it is. And it's huge. And I knitted it on Boxing Day. And basically on Boxing night, I knitted the whole thing and I just basically stuffed in the morning. But what I did different, now in this small one, you actually mix the yarns. You get this colour, this camel colour, and you mix a very fine white, I suppose to make it look like it's got a bit of icing on it. Now you'd only got 2 yarn colours in the big one. Well, as far as I know, I'm guessing it was as it was sold from the designer. Obviously I've had a de-stashed one, so you never know, do you? But as it happened, I mixed in the little bit of white. Now the white is very fine, it's only a 2-ply, so it probably doesn't show up all that much, but I just wanted it to match these. So I suppose I could have put a double knit white in it to make it stand out a little bit more. But that's how different they look from one to the other. Now, you won't believe it, but this was quicker to knit than this one. And the reason being is, now when I showed you in my Vlogmas, when you do the pie crust, you knit in, on one of the rows, you knit into the front, into the back, into the front. So you turn every single stitch from 1 into 3 apart from the first stitch and the last stitch. Well, anyway, when you do this one, you don't. You only double your stitches, so you knit into the front and back on that same row. So had I have done that, it would have been huge. You know, you could have made this bigger if you wanted to, but I think this is big enough. I thought these were big for mince pies. This is certainly big for mince pies, isn't it? And we have still got some mince pies left. Yeah, and everybody was saying, gosh, they're calorie free. But I must admit, having all these mince pies around just made me want to eat more mince pies. So yeah, it didn't probably help the calorie count. It probably made me eat more of them. But never mind, it's Christmas after all, isn't it? So anyway, we'll go back to sewing. Now, I was showing you in a previous video that I've got more of the poppy to fry kits. I treated myself earlier in the year and I thought there'd be a really nice thing to stitch over Vlogmas, over my Stitchmas, but I just didn't get the time. But I'm going to do them now. Now I must admit, I could have actually finished these, but I've done something so I can get more uses out of them. Now, with the kits, Poppy gives you these cards with instructions, and she says, I guarantee you will want to make more of these, so once you've cut them out, it's a good idea to draw around your pieces on card so you can create a template to use them again and again. Well, I do something different. I photocopy the fabric. And that's what I've done. Now, these are bigger, so I must admit, this was a bit of faff. And I could have actually got these sewn up and finished and ready to show you, but I did this instead, and I think it's well worth it. So I got fabric piece here, this one, and I've got an A3 printer. Now it only prints in A4, but it will scan in A3. So I had to put it on that way, and then I had to put it on that way. But when I did it one way, it missed a bit at the top, and when I did it the other way, it missed a bit at the bottom. So what I've done is I've stuck what I've got together. I've added the missing piece there because it's only sky, and I've added a missing piece there and it's only snow. Now you probably can't see very well because it's very bright, but these pieces where there's lines here where you cut, so I will be cutting those out as well. So if I want to remake these, I am going to have a paper pattern, but I've also got the design, so maybe I could do you know, an applique and free motion version of this pot in time if I want to, or I could just use it and do my own design on there, whatever I choose to do. So that's one of them. That's called the Snowy Mountain Storage Pot, which I purchased from Poppy to Fry. Now the next one I'm going to show you is called the Christmas Cabin Storage Pot. And I'll show you the fabric, and that's what the fabric looks like. Now you can't really see very well on here, but there are some lines where you cut squares out of these, and they're very simple to make. You basically put them together with some lining fabric, you cut these shapes out, then you stitch them along the top, then fold it this way, stitch them along the side, stitch them along the bottom and leave a turning gap in your base, and then you do your box corners. So they're very, very simple to make. And like I say, if I hadn't faffed around with these, I probably would have sewn them. But I think it was worth spending the time, and obviously it used a hell of a lot of ink on my printer, and I've had to order some more ink because 2 of them were running out. And that's coming soon. So yeah, I've had to do the same. I've had to piece a bit down here and piece a bit down here, but now I've got a paper pattern. Now the other one, it was a lot more simple. It's a very small project, and it is called the Festive Pennies Purse. Now this comes with a zip, and they all come with lining fabric, and this is the outer fabric. And this is a purse, basically. So what I'll be doing, I'm getting is cutting along here, because obviously if you did that, it's going to be upside down, isn't it? So it's a shame, actually, that they weren't printed the opposite way. So it means you wouldn't have had to cut them at all. It'd be one less bit of sewing, wouldn't it? But, that's how it goes. However, I've printed that out on A4, simple as that, no piecing together. So if I ever wanted to redo this, I can do, which is really nice. And actually I could have enlarged them. I could have made this full size, so I could actually photocopy this again and blow it up, so I'd have a bigger robin and a bigger snowman and things if I wanted to redo them. So that is some sewing I'm going to be doing. Now you will remember, if you've been following me, that I have started a project called the Lays and Bee project bag, and all I was doing was waiting on supplies. The supplies have arrived and they're all together, but I've just put it aside because I've been doing Christmas, and we're actually still in Christmas, aren't we? So we I don't know if you'll get this video today, if it'll be tomorrow, but it's going to be the 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. We're actually the 7th day of Christmas, right? So, Christmas isn't over. So yeah, I'm still in Christmas mode. New Year's Day sometimes feels a bit like Christmas Day again, doesn't it? So my aim before the 12th hour of the 12th day of Christmas is to finish my second sock. Now, I will speak more closely about everything when I finish this, and I'm actually considering to start using my Ravelry account a little bit more. On Ravelry, I think I'm called Crafting Claire, and there's a few of my projects on there, but I've been on it many years and hardly used it. But I'm going to start being more active on there and putting the yarns I've used and the colours and the project I've made. So I hopefully can do this, but I must admit, I don't know if I've got the ball band for the coloured bit, But I have found the ball band for the green because I did some vacuum in my bedroom yesterday. I had a huge vacuum and I did a load of tidying up from my knitting, and I found a hell of a lot of ball bands, and I thought I'd got the ball band for this, but it was actually the peppermint. It's another stripy one, but the colour for this now, I can't see the ball band now, but I know what it is. This is West Yorkshire Spinners, and it's called Chocolate Lime, and I bought this from the Wool Warehouse, and it's 4-ply and it's suitable for sock knitting, and Mary Angela recommended it to me because Mary Angela gifted me this coloured one and she said that goes perfectly with it, so I purchased this myself. So I knitted the first sock, and I am knitting the Mabel sock by So Sweet Violet. Now I felt confident enough to knit the sock because I've knitted these St Nicholas socks are by So Sweet Violet. Obviously I knew they were going to be different because you're doing a contrasting heel, so that really does change the pattern, the sort of patterns that you can do. But I find it very successful, and here is my sock. Now I did have this on a sock blocker, but I've actually took it off because it doesn't fit, and I've ordered a larger one that's going to be arriving in January, and it's an adjustable one. Now I must admit the reviews on Amazon aren't very good, and I was gifted a £50 voucher on Amazon. Well, it's a joint one between my family, so my boys have used some of it as well. My husband will be using some of it, and I was using some of it. And but obviously I said to my husband, if I end up spending more than you, I'll give him the cash, so he's got the cash to spend elsewhere. So I've ordered these yarn blocker things. It's good for showing you the sock, and it's adjustable, and like I say, the reviews aren't very good, but I think people they said they're flimsy and don't stay together, but I've seen pictures of similar things on eBay, and you're meant to get them to the size you want, and you thread yarn through the hole to hold them in, so I think it's user error why they weren't getting on with them. However, I'd started my second sock, but I put it down so I could knit 4 mince pies, and then I ended up putting it down to knit the giant mince pie on Boxing Night. But after that I decided to pick it back up, and I've done a bit of crochet in between as well, haven't I? Well, this is as far as I've got. I've made loads of progress. So if you want to see how much further I've got to go, if I fold my sock up, this is the back of the one I've finished, and you can kind of see how many stripes. So there's 3 red stripes, and I end on there's a white after the red, and then it goes to the cuff. Well, I'm just starting the second bit of red. So yeah, I haven't got much more. I'm going to do this upside down. Yeah, it's kind of like this, isn't it? Yes, I haven't got much more to do. So I think I'm going to do it. If we're on the 7th day of Christmas, and I want to finish by the 12th hour of the 12th day, I think this can be done. However, I am going out this evening for New Year's Eve. I might feel a bit tired tomorrow, and I'm going out for a birthday party as well. We're going out for a New Year's Day meal because a family member, their birthday is on New Year's Day. So yeah, so it's the time, and then I've got other things going on as well, so yeah, so it seems achievable because of the days, but then it might not happen because of things going on, but we'll just see. So wish me luck with that. So what I've done with Amazon, I ordered a book and another doll. I've ordered another doll from the Harry Potter series. It's actually Draco Malfoy in his school uniform and his wizard cloak. Now I have got a Malfoy doll which I managed to get, and he's in his Quidditch outfit. I'm sorry if you're not a Harry Potter fan, but he's in his Quidditch outfit with his broom. But this is the first doll the Mattel have done that they've done a Slytherin uniform. There is a Luna one that's come out in a Ravenclaw uniform, because I have Luna in her own clothes, but unfortunately I've not been able to get that doll. So there was 4 well, I think there was actually a few releases this year, but you know, but new releases, but they've changed them. Like Hermione's got a little cold run now, but I'm not going to be getting that one. And I got another Ron and Harry in the flying car, but I've not shown that on YouTube. But what I'll do is I'll do a Harry Potter special, Doll Diary special in the new year, and I'll show you the new Harry Potter dolls that I've got now in my collection. And you know, the really cute ones I've got with the big heads, they look like a bit like Blythe dolls. Ron hadn't arrived in the UK, but I've managed to order him, so he'll be coming in the new year as well. So that's exciting. So anyway, but back to the Stitch Diaries. I'm not going to get distracted by dollies, you know. I know it's easy. I find it easily done, but I got a knitting book. And this is the 52 Weeks of Socks. Now, I've seen this book. Well, it did pop up in my suggested on Amazon, but I didn't buy it before. But Teresa has got this from, Teresa, let me remember the name. Lost My Thread, which I've spoken about Teresa before. She's got this book, and I think I finally caved. But yes, I need this book. So yeah, I'm not in any immediate rush to get knitting another pair of socks. I've got lots of other knitting and crochet I need to do before I actually think about another pair of socks. But it's a nice one to have in my collection, isn't it? And it's there waiting for me. And in the new year, I'm going to be, you know, doing more cool crafting makes. Now, Hamish needs his outfit, so I'm going to be definitely making sure he's got his outfit ready for Burns Night, which will be the end of January. And what else? And I'm going to be obviously making some a beach donkey, and I've got Ziggy to make. So yeah, there's going to be definitely some lunar things. And because I've had 3 boxes from So Hayley Jane and their dressmaking subscription boxes, I've got some dressmaking fabrics. So I've got an idea. The autumn box, we got this lovely fabric. I'm going to make a dress with it, and I think I'm going to make a dress that is by Fiona Hesford. And yeah, I've had the pattern ages, so yeah, and I've been really wanting to make it. So yeah, I'm going to use one of the fabrics from the So Hayley Jane. So that's probably going to be my next dressmaking make. So I've got lots and lots of plans for the new year. Lots of knitting, lots of sewing. So yeah, I'll be really looking forward to bringing some new things to show you in the new year and my experiences making them. So thank you so much for joining me in 2022. I really appreciate all the likes, the comments. It's just your kindness is just overwhelming, and if it wasn't for you and your kindness, you know, would I do this? Probably not. You know, I have always said if I had one person that watches my videos that enjoyed them and was liking and commenting, I would probably still do this because I enjoy it so much. But knowing that there's a number of you that come to my videos and onto my social media time and time again with comments, I really, really appreciate, and thank you so much. I really love the feedback, and I'll be looking forward to chatting with you and showing you things in the new year. So happy new year, and I'm going to end this video. I'm dedicating this video to my auntie Linda that passed away this year, and to Martin, who's a family friend. So I'm going to share just some pictures at the very end of this video, so I hope you don't mind, and I will look forward to seeing you all in the new year. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.